Welcome back. I am once again in the Pleasantview Museum. I know that I'm problematic at this point, but I don't care. I thought this was going to be just this quick project. I would be done in like maybe four videos. No, not even. We're not even upstairs yet. But today we are actually working on the very Pleasantview specific rooms. So we have this little hallway. Originally in the original lot, this was like a runway. So it was like an H&M runway experience. And obviously there's not going to be a runway now. So instead, I've just kind of made it into a hallway. And at the end of the hallway, just so it's not like an awkward area, I was going to do a bathroom, and then I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I was debating over goopy pictures for reasons. So I decided instead to just have like a little display cabinet with just like hand-carved wood items. Again, playing off the idea that someone local made these and they needed to fill the corner, so I was debating it being Goopy Gil's Carpo, but I decided that he probably does not have the skills needed to carve these. So yeah, just real quick put them on shelves. I also had just two kind of older pictures, the boat, and then there's like, I can't remember really what's on the other one. It's from Sims 4, but yeah. So yeah, just like a general little hallway. It's not a main exhibit, it's just kind of there. I don't know who would have carved these, but maybe it's someone's ancestor. Actually, you know what? Maybe it was John Burb's dad. He looked like he could carve things. Oh, it's a little barn. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna decide that. John Burb's dad, whose name escapes me. I know his mom's Tiffany. Brad, that was his name. So Brad Burb carved these. Also, this is the point where I realized I could go to night mode and then I could see how the lighting looks in my game. So I ended up fixing all the lights just so that I can see them, because I don't want to put too much light. At the same time, like, you want to make sure that you can see. Now, what we're going to work on next, I don't know if anybody had any guesses as to what these two side rooms were. They were originally dressing rooms, but I really wanted like a Bella Goth mystery room, even though Bella Goth in the Unlocking Neighborhood challenge, we know what happened to her. She moved back in. She's fine. But I imagine that it was a mystery for a while. It made the news. Like, it's something that the museum might have a lot of things on just because. And so, yeah, I wanted there to be a room based on that. So I don't have like a crap ton of Bella Goth CC, but I had enough. And then I had this like tree that has some carving in it, and then it has like a little heart-shaped swing, and I thought that was cute. So I figured I could do like a display with that inside of it. I have these two Bella Goth pictures. I had some golf clubs, because in her description in The Sims 1 it says she likes to golf, so I was like, alright, golf clubs. Done. I wanted like a little putting green, like that little golf thing in there, but it didn't actually fit, so I had to take it out. And then the Bella Goth squared, of course. And some other items that I had were, I think Sim Slice made those little head in a jar things, but it's Bella and Mortimer, and I thought it was very funny, so I put those in there. We'll pretend it's somebody's weird resin craft. And then the suitcase with the books is like all the material that the Pleasantview PD collected while she was missing, kind of thing. I didn't try to make this look like an outdoor scene intentionally, just because it was too much. It was too much. That tree was already going to cause me problems upstairs, so I just, no. Just kind of scooching everything over. I was going to leave it open, but I do end up glassing it in, because it looked weird open, and I didn't want people to. I thought at first that, like, the intent would be for people to sit on the bench, but then I'm like, Yeah, I struggled with this room for a minute, because I was like, well, I don't want people to touch the golf clubs. I'm like, okay, well, I'll put them behind a rope. But then it just looks really dumb. I'm like, alright, that looks bad. That looks objectively bad. Yeah. I did have the little snow globe too, So I was like, all right, that'll go in there. And then I put a pair of gloves in there. I figured with figures like this, especially in the local community, their items are going to turn up somewhere. I put the balloon because she is in the hot air balloon, and I thought it was funny. So that's why that's there. I was going to put the alien too, but I decided to remove it. I'm curious what your speculation is on what all of the informational blurbs in this room say. Because they could say many things. Like, who knows? I do make this space bigger because the tree branch was just driving me insane. Like, I thought I could make it work, but gloves just... She seems like she's someone who would wear gloves. Of course, I should have put magic stuff in here because, as you know if you've been watching my Unlocking the Neighborhood thing, Bella Goth is magic. Literally. She actually recently decided to make Alexander magic. Not necessarily with his permission. But I did need an evil warlock, so... yeah. Sorry, Alex. I do really like how this turned out. Like, because again, these are kind of items that it's really hard to use in the game because, you know, it's kind of memorabilia items and I just can't justify using them a lot of the time. But at the same time, I really like them and I don't want to delete them because so much CC is now lost to the void and I just didn't want to do it. So it was like trying to figure it out. Yeah, this is me deciding I have to make the room bigger. I think I actually end up putting the golf clubs in that glass area. Or do I put them in the corner? I actually don't remember. I am curious what the Goth family thinks about this display, but... Also, I put the sign for the Bella Squared on the wrong wall, but I figure that happens sometimes and they can have like a little arrow pointing to it. Oh, I put it in the corner. Never mind. So yeah, just a really small space, but it's very Pleasantview oriented, which I like. That was the whole goal, is this is a local museum and the Bella Goth mystery is a local mystery. Even though it's been solved, it was still a big part of the history of the town. Not that I've ever explained what happened in this particular iteration of Pleasantview, but whatever. So this next space, which again is pretty small, but it doesn't need to be giant, is the land grab section. You can't have a local museum without the land grabs. It's just not gonna work. I had a lot of items, mostly like historical items, because I figure they're one of the oldest families in the area. I had the Admiral Landgrab portrait, which I was so excited about. And then everything else was just kind of a bit random, but, you know, things that look like they could be old, maybe belonged to their original home. I imagine they probably had a manor house that they no longer have. I kind of gave them like a seafaring sort of history because of Admiral Landgrab. And also maybe at some point they owned a bar, like just different things that a family that's been in the area for generations probably has done a lot of different things in the town. And so I just wanted to include things that you would expect to see here. I also used that railing, which is based off Sims 1. The idea being that it's, again, from their original home. That is no longer in the area. I actually like the idea that the original Landgrab home was bulldozed to make way for the Pleasantview condos. In this pleasantly thriving neighborhood, there are no Pleasantview condos, but that's the idea that I like. Because there used to be a historical home there, and they bulldozed it because it wasn't protected. Because that happens. See, I put a little... That's a pianoforte rather than piano, but... yeah. And I decided to just do a little display case with, again, like personal items to the family. I was gonna do the platform, I think, but yeah, I do remove it and I just do one of these cases. So like the little replica ship, the gramophone, the little horse ashes, I imagine maybe they did horse racing at some point. The photo album, just things that the family's donated because they don't need it or they don't care. which again, happens. Or they're dying off or not in the area. We know Malcolm is not in the area. That said, when I do get Blue Water Village, I like the idea of him coming back to Pleasantview. And maybe rebuilding like a replica manor kind of thing, but I don't know. We'll see what he does. I have to unlock it first. I do really like how these turned out. Sometimes a plan comes together. And I might have gone rogue and added dinosaurs, but I at least have some very Pleasantview specific places. I really wanted to keep that lion, because again, I figured it probably was salvaged from the old house. The pile of money made me laugh, but I decided not to put it there. The jewelry I was kind of having problems with. I could see in a local museum it not being behind glass, but it just, There's enough of a criminal element in Pleasantview that I probably needed to put it behind glass. So I just put these windows together and like built a glass case, more or less. I do move that exit sign, by the way. Yeah, I like the idea that, maybe they were show people. They had a bar, like they did a lot of different things. There's probably a lot of different branches of the Landgrab family. But we know the first one. I'm so happy that I have that painting. I forgot that it existed, and then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, isn't there? And then there was. I was very happy. Also, the painting with the dog, again, I imagine to be Admiral Landgrab when he was a child. The statue is just a random Landgrab. But yeah, I really like how this turned out, and I'm curious what you guys think about it, what you guys think about the Landgrabs in general, and kind of how they relate to like the Sims timeline. Because they're a family that we see again and again and again, but they don't always make sense, and there's not really like a general consensus on them, so I'm just curious what other people think. And of course, what you think of the room that I've put together. So yeah, we're pretty much done here. I'm not sure which room I'm going to take over next, but yeah, we're still got a whole floor. But if you like this video, definitely give it a like, and I will see you in the next one.